Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So an unfortunate update in Duncan v. Bonta today. And honestly, I gotta start this video by saying, how pissed would you be if you were Judge Benitez, a federal judge who has heard this case twice, heard all of the arguments twice, all the discovery, all the testimony, wrote 2 orders, each one enjoining California's ban on so-called high-capacity magazines. You know, you went through all of that work, months and months of work, and then the 9th Circuit basically just says, we're just going to go ahead and stay your order. Now, why did they say they're going to stay the order? Because it would just do too much undue harm to the state of California. Let's talk about what happened. So the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals has once again shown that they deserve to be called the 9th Circus Court of Appeals. The reason is because they're the most overturned court in the entire country, and this is exactly why here. So the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals skipped an entire step. The 3-judge panel, they said forget about it, we're just going to hear this en banc. They decided to take it en banc, and without even really determining the merits of the case at all, because they have to look at the merits of this case to determine whether or not the plaintiffs have a likelihood of winning on those merits, and then they have to judge whether or not they should give the injunction based on that. What instead they did is, even post Bruen, they used the 2-step approach. They basically balanced California's interests over people's rights in California. So they did the interest balancing approach, even though that's exactly at odds with what the Supreme Court told them that they need to do from now on. So they decided to stay Judge Benitez's injunction. So that means what they're going to have to do now is they're going to have to go through the entire case, continue on with it, and people are going to have to do basically the same process all over again. And the 9th Circuit is going to have to now argue this case. But the thing is, they just ignored absolutely everything. Now, I'm upset, I'm pretty pissed, but I'm really not all that surprised, as I'm sure you're not all that surprised either, because this is what the 9th Circuit does. They just completely ignore everything, and they go with what they want to see happen. They go with their own preferred outcome, rather than actually following the law or looking at the Constitution and the way that it's written and text, history, and tradition and doing things the right way to uphold the rule of law. They have chosen their own given path, and that's the path that they're going to end at, regardless of what it takes for them to get there. That's their activism coming out. They see the Second Amendment as a second-class right. They have treated it that way since the very beginning, and they continue to do so, even in the light of the Supreme Court telling them basically that they are wrong, in the light of a district court judge, a well-respected district court judge, who has looked at everything now twice and wrote a 72-page order proving why it should be enjoined. And they just wipe it up. They just, 2 weeks, it's gone. I mean, this guy took months to write that order, and in a matter of weeks, it's just gone. So that just tells you right there that they don't really care about the rule of law, nor the Constitution, or your rights. Some are preferred rights, some are not preferred rights to them, and they'll just decide to do whatever they want just based on their own, the whims of their own outcome. That's what the 9th Circuit really is all about. So try and keep in mind, Duncan v. Bonta is far from over. This is not the end. That doesn't mean that it just goes away from here. This means that now the 9th Circuit still has to hear this case. And if they just go against everything that's happened up until this point, and they decide to rule in favor of the state of California like they most typically do, then we still have the Supreme Court after that. And after all the shenanigans that have been played here, where they're skipping processes and changing things and not looking at the merits, then I see a very good likelihood that the Supreme Court's going to take this up. And if the Supreme Court takes this up, which is what I've said in other videos, I think the Supreme Court's going to say, no, you're not allowed to place a capacity limitation on stuff like this that's protected by the Second Amendment. I don't think they're allowed to do that. So I think that we could end up seeing something that ends up being a win for the entire country here. Other than that, then this is just another stall tactic by the 9th Circuit to put a little bit more time behind it, and that's pretty much it. So we'll see what happens from here, but it is definitely not over. There were dissenting judges who are very upset with the decision that was made to stay that order by Judge Benitez. So there's some really upset dissenting judges that basically say that this court is illegitimate, and that's the end of it right there. So I will keep you guys updated if there's anything else that changes. I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.